testimony, which is a quick story of how they became a Christian. And I was asked to give mine today, right now, and so I shall begin. So I grew up in a Christian family, and the easy misconception that almost everybody has is growing up in a Christian family does not automatically make you a Christian. It does mean that you automatically grow up knowing about Jesus, but as a child, I didn't like the idea of Christianity. I didn't like the idea of there's this man who died and now I need to follow him and do as he says. I want to do the things that I want to do. So as I grew up through school, I just decided to do what I wanted to do, as and when I felt like it. And it went all right, until about when I was 13, 14, 15. Then things started going badly. I had a hobby, a fairly expensive one, and as a child I didn't have much money. So what I used to do is I used to take money from my parents without them knowing, and I continued doing that because that's what I wanted to do. I then got into a very bad relationship, and it was fun at the time, so I continued doing that. And then I got caught, and then the guilt came over me, and I couldn't believe what I had done. I dealt with it in terrible ways. I created another me that I blamed it on. I didn't accept the blame myself. And I even decided to just run away for a weekend and see how that went. And all of these solutions that I made, I was not acknowledging what I had done wrong, taking the blame for myself. I was just continually doing it, but just not wanting to receive the punishment. But then something struck me, and it was at a New Year's party when the last time I saw the person that I had a terrible relationship with, and they were having fun with another person, and I realised that although it may have been fun, it's not what is fun or good for me in the long run. And so I looked for a solution, and without realising, I was surrounded by the solution within my family and church, because throughout all this time, I was still going to church, listening. I would have said I was a Christian at that time, because I didn't know what it meant to be a Christian. But when everything fell down, I realised that actually I can't solve my problems. I did what I wanted, and that led me down a really dark path. So why not give this Jesus guy a go? Because he must set some good rules, right? So I led the next couple of years thinking the Bible as a guidebook of how to live. Just some easy sets of morals to live by. Because, I mean, Jesus was a pretty good guy, wasn't he? And so I lived out my life trying to be a good person, and it went wrong, because guilt came flowing back. I did not have the willpower to continue being this nice guy, because I realized how often I went wrong. But then I started talking to the person who ran the youth group at my church, and he explained to me that it's not just about being a good person or doing what God wants you to do, because throughout the Bible, looking at anybody who isn't Jesus, any human, they all do things wrong. Some of the most important people God chose in the Bible were terrible people, according to our standards, but God still chose them. And that's when I learned that the Bible and the gospel is a gospel of forgiveness, because God realizes that we are all sinners, and if we put our trust and hope in Him, and the idea that He sent His Son to die and take all of the punishment that I deserve, all of those bad things I did, all of the punishment I felt I needed, Jesus took it all. And it struck me hard, because initially I thought it wasn't fair that this guy just takes all of the blame for everything I did. And it took me a long time to come to grips with it. And some people talk about them coming to faith just like that. Sometimes it happens like that. But sometimes, like me, it's a long period of time, and it's a slow growth. And it's through interest, through deeply, truly learning, talking with God. And I think that's where I find my hope, because I have a lovely family, and then that is extended within the church. I have everything that I ever wanted that was around me all this time, and it is good for you. But if you do it with God in mind, it's really good for you. If you do it whilst ignoring God, then it's going to end up badly, as I experienced. And yeah, that's my story, and I think it's now time for Josh. Are you coming up?